Hi everyone, this is Harvey from Meridianaustralis. I'm here at Clunes with Thomas K Slee, the author of the new international thriller, Project Gateway, and we're just here to chat about books for a little bit. First of all, Thomas, how long have you considered yourself sort of actively an author and writing, and what prompted you to get into the whole writing thing?
Morning, Harvey.
Morning.
I guess I started taking writing seriously back in about 2020. I think I'd been writing stories. I wrote like Dinotopia fan fiction and Warhammer fan fiction when I was a kid. And then I stopped because I became an engineer and I wrote reports instead. And then, in about 2020, when I had nothing else to do, I started getting back into it. I started a writing group with my mum and my dad and my girlfriend's dad and my little brother so that we could stay in touch. This is the product of that writing group. My dad has 2 cozy mysteries. My brother writes plays. My mum is still working on a memoir. And my girlfriend's dad has half a script.
So, tell us a little bit about Project Gateway, and is there an archetype or a particular sort of genre that was really inspiring to you, or is it just sort of all come from an amalgamation? And just what is the book about? What's the vibe?
So I guess the first germ of the idea came from me complaining about having to commute to work. Because the book is about the invention of teleportation. Mm-hmm. And then as I started thinking about it, I started thinking about, if the company that invents it would have a lot of competition to kind of keep control of that. And that's where all of the thriller elements came from. I grew up on John le Carre and Michael Crichton and classic science fiction from my dad's drawer of books. And so that's where this book came from. It's a techno-thriller. It's all about basically billionaires fighting for control of a technology that will change the world and a journalist trying to uncover it before it all goes terribly, terribly wrong.
So you've told us a little bit about the book and the inspirations, and then the process of writing a book and then putting it through self-publishing. When you were first writing it, were you always set on publishing it yourself, or was it something were you planning on shopping it around? How did you get to the self-publish avenue, and then what was that like?
Well, so when I started, I wasn't thinking about any of that. I was just kind of fiddling. The first version of Project Gateway is bad. Characters change names from chapter to chapter. I've got no idea what was going on. Yeah. By about halfway through, I kind of figured out what I was doing. Yeah. And so I basically went and rewrote the first half so that it fit. And I shared it with all of my friends, and they were like, "Yeah, this is fine, I guess. Got a few problems, and so they were honest with me. And then I rewrote it again from scratch, basically. And in that time, I'd been listening to writing podcasts, talking to other people in the industry, and basically figured that technology has changed a lot, which means we can do a lot of it ourselves and maintain control. And so I kind of liked the sound of that, so I thought I'd give it a go. Once it was finally finished, publish it through Kickstarter. That's how I met Henry. That's how I met you guys, trying to find other science fiction authors to connect with, and the rest is history.
And so you sort of have ended up with this awesome book, awesome cover, all funded through Kickstarter, which I think is awesome. I think we're seeing a real kind of burgeoning self-publishing era. I mean, it's indie books have always been around, but I think especially post-pandemic, it's really cool to see all these very talented and motivated authors just going straight to self-publishing. Thank you so much for sharing a stall with us. Everybody read Project Gateway. You can check us out too, Meridian Australis on Instagram. There'll be more interviews to follow from today, so please keep an eye out.